How did Jacob Zuma's new party, uMkhonto weSizwe, manage such a big share of the votes?
Hi, Esther. Thanks so much again for having me back on the show so soon. It's definitely been quite a dramatic week and weekend for South African politics. I think if we look at the performance of the MKP, we really need to understand it as a kind of splinter of the ANC. So South Africa has many political parties, many small opposition parties. But if we look at what MKP is all about, it's really an aggrieved Zuma for how he's been treated by certain members of the ANC. And what he was effectively able to do was he was able to get a lot of support on his side, a lot of people who do believe he has been victimized by the ANC administration that's led by the current president, Cyril Ramaphosa. So he got these people on his side. There's also been the rise of Zulu nationalism in South Africa, which we've seen growing in the last, I would say, 5 to 10 years or so. And all of these factors really helped to propel the MKP to something that was quite unprecedented. I certainly didn't expect MKP to do well at all. I missed the boat on that one. But even other analysts who did predict that they would get seats in parliament,
so,
I don't think anyone saw
right.
over 15% coming.
So looks like Zuma's party is calling the shots here. Was this the reason behind ANC losing so many seats, or did other political parties give it a run for their money?
So if we look at how many seats the ANC lost, which was over 70 seats, and how many MKP gained compared to how many other smaller opposition parties gained and lost this election, the MKP basically was the main factor for the ANC dropping to below 50% of the total vote share. The other parties altogether were enough to bring it down a bit, but they also took away some votes from other opposition parties rather than just from the ANC alone.
Is Ramaphosa in a weak or a strong position as we speak?
He's in a difficult position because there's two factions in the ANC, the one that he leads and the other one that was always pro Zuma, a lot more leftist. And these two have always been at odds. So currently, Ramaphosa, it will really depend on how coalition talks go. I don't think he's going anywhere as state president anytime soon. And I think we're going to see a little bit of governance ability. Nothing now.
Marisa, somehow we're losing your voice there. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So what is the coalition going to be like? Are these other parties making, calling for certain elements and certain positions that they should hold if they agree to form a coalition government within the ANC?
So far, the two parties that have made the most significant demands have been MKP and EFF. So EFF leader Julius Malema, for example, has said that if the ANC wants to do a coalition with it, then it wants the position of finance minister to go to one of the EFF MPs. MK says that it would negotiate with the ANC to be in a coalition, but then it wants Ramaphosa removed as president. In terms of what other potential coalition partners could want, for example, the DA or the IFP, they have not been as clear around what kind of positions they are looking for, but certainly they would want some top positions in cabinet as well, and they wouldn't just want to give the ANC the upper hand.
What are the majority of South Africans saying? What's their reaction to this outcome?
So actually, a lot of South Africans are glad that the ANC has dropped below 50%. There has been a lot of dissatisfaction with its rule for a long time. There's also a small pocket of South Africans that are concerned about a coalition with the DA because they believe that it represents the interests of business held by white South Africans and not the general population. Others are pleased that the EFF has not grown and that MKP has taken away votes from them. So there's really, South Africa is a very diverse society. It's also quite racialized. And I think that people's reactions to this election and just how different they are a reflection of that.